So today I want to tell you about some of the weather instruments that meteorologists or weather people use to tell us what to expect with the weather and how they can determine and make their predictions. Actually, I don't have a thermometer because I think you all know that. Of course, when your mom or dad thinks you're sick, what do? They take your temperature with a thermometer to see what your body temperature is. So of course it's important to know the temperature outside so you kind of know how to dress for the day. The next thing I want to show you that meteorologists use is called a wind vane. And so you've probably seen these maybe out at airports. They have the socks actually that help them determine which way the wind is blowing. Sometimes on barns you see these. But basically the wind, the little arrow at the top or whatever is there is going to blow and point in the direction that the wind is blowing. Maybe it's north or northeast or south. And of course, when we do our readings at school, I wish we could do those. Of course, I take a compass outside so that we can be accurate and know which way it is facing. All right, another thing that is measured with the wind is the wind speed. And certainly for a pilot flying an airplane, different things, wind speed might be an important thing for them to know. This is, of course, not a very complex one we can use at school though, and what we do is we go outside and we hold it up. We use our little minute timer and see how many times the yellow one goes around in 1 minute. So we like to count those. Of course, meteorologists have much more advanced anemometers than this. But what you need to remember is that an anemometer measures wind speed, whereas a wind vane measures the direction the wind is blowing. All right, this is an important tool. You may recognize it. Some of you may have similar ones at home. A rain gauge. So you can know how much rainfall has fallen, especially if you're, say, a gardener or farmer. You know how much water is needed. Farmers with their irrigation to keep their plants well watered. So a rain gauge obviously measures rainfall amount. Here's something we don't use a lot in the South, but this is a snow gauge. One year I did this with 4th graders and it actually snowed during the week we did this. So here are inches on the front, centimeters one side, inches on the other. And so you could see how much the snow had piled up and then measure it to see what the snowfall was. Now, there are 2 instruments that you'll need to know what they do. One is a barometer, and it measures air pressure, kind of how heavy the air is. On cold days, the air pressure is much greater than on warm days, which you'll read about in your science book. The last instrument you'll need to know about is called a hygrometer. It measures the humidity in the air, the moisture in the air. When we talked about the water cycle, we talked about the water vapor in the air, so it doesn't just have to be like the water in the rain, but remember this will help you. Hygrometer starts with H, and so does humidity, the moisture in the air. So remember that a hygrometer measures humidity. All right, and those are the weather instruments that you're going to want to know. They are found in your science book on page D72. So there's where you can look to study them. And I hope this helps you. All right, bye.